Okay, hi everybody. I am glad to be here. I had technical difficulties. For some reason, when I tried to start the live a few minutes ago, it just kept spitting out. It wouldn't go. Honestly, I'm having all kinds of, I think it just says that I'm live. Oh, this is weird. And then I'm cross-posting this to Hanraku Academy, which I knew because that's mine also. So I can do that. All right, I guess we will get started. Hopefully, people will either join us or pop in later. And honestly, maybe people are here and I just can't see you. This is, I don't understand. I'll do some research over the weekend and see about these new Facebook Live things. If it still continues to be wonky, I might just move this over to YouTube and go live on YouTube, and that would probably save me a couple in between steps. So, let's start with introductions. My name is Melanie Sibley. I am a licensed clinical social worker with a private practice here in our very own Champaign, Illinois, Champaign-Urbana, U of I, all of that stuff. I specialize in anxiety, addiction, and trauma with a little side of depression because anxiety and depression go hand in hand so often. Um, that's a population I work with. I am EMDR trained. If you don't know what that is, and if you want to know and you want to hear way too much about it, hit me up and I'll tell you. I am also pursuing my certification in EMDR, which has gotten a little weird with the way everything has changed and going to telehealth. But I am navigating my way through learning how to do EMDR through video. So I guess even that's not going to slow me down for too long. So today I wanted to talk about isolation. Who is at risk, what it is, why it's negative, and what we can do to take care of it. I think I've had several people speak to that with me, both individually as clients, but also emails, people saying this is a thing. And it's also like being isolated is near and dear to my heart. So some of you know, hi Maria. I don't know if you're here. I just saw you liked my post. So some of you know that I live alone. I don't have kids. I don't have a partner. I'm just me and my dogs and my cat. And let's be clear, normally I love that. Like I am an introvert by nature. I love my alone time. I need my alone time. Most of the time that is a really positive thing. It has been extremely challenging and at times, if I'm going to be really honest, it's been distressing. Um, I think this is probably the first time in 10 years that I felt the loss of living with other people. So I think now more than ever, those of us that live alone are at risk, not necessarily from getting sick, but just from isolation. And again, even if we're introverts, like I love my alone time. Like I love, love, love. My best days are when I am really busy and I work really hard. And then I get to come home and spend like Saturday not seeing anybody and not talking to anybody. But that's because I had Monday through Friday and Sunday super busy and super connected. When day after day after day is being home alone and not having another human being to connect with physically, I think that's really difficult. Um, I will say that isolation, one is just we are social animals. We need human contact no matter how much we might not want it. Two is that we are physical animals. And again, I'm explaining this like I'm five, so this is not going to be super scientifically accurate, but the gist of it will be. So we need physical contact. And I will use my example that where I really became aware of this is I do quite often Zen sessions. So that's like Zen retreats. And I would stay at the Zen Center for 3 days, 5 days when we would meditate, sleep, walk, do chores, and that was kind of it. And I love my Zen sessions. But what I noticed is that there's no physical contact. And by the end of it, all of us were craving it. So we would walk by somebody and we wouldn't say anything because we didn't talk, but the hand would go on the shoulder, or there would just be these little things. And in some ways, at least I have my animal, so I do have some physical contact, but it's not the same as I'm a hugger. So when I see somebody and I hug them, or just all that physical, and I'm not talking sexual, I'm not talking intimate in that nature. I'm just saying we need those connections. And during this time more than ever, those connections tend to be really lacking. So, some suggestions for those of you that are isolated. First, please be aware that it puts you at risk, in my opinion, and I think it's scientific too. I should have, and I did not do the research, but so it puts us at risk. So, not having that social support puts us at risk for getting sick. It makes us more stressed physically, right? So, the physicality of the stress and the hormones and all of that. It can also, and this is my personal experience, but I think it relates to most of us, isolation makes it really easy to end up in depression, right? And again, this is like for me, for my personal journey, this is like therapy 101. One of the first things I had to learn was I cannot stay home alone and not connected with people for days on end. If I do, I end up just sleeping 20 hours a day. So it was instilled in me a long time ago that I have to, like living alone, great, that's fine. It's a unique choice, but it's what I'm comfortable with. But it means that I have to take those steps to stay out and connected to my community in other ways. If I don't, if I spend too many days alone, then it gets to, what's the use? Why bother? I'm not going to get dressed. Why should I? I'm not going to see anybody. Well, fuck, why should I wake up? Yeah, I have nothing to get up for. And it can isolation very easily and very naturally morphs into depression. So, what do we do in this time where physical distancing is important for our country? I feel, and I've said this before, physical, not social distancing, fuck that shit. Physical distancing, I feel, is a patriotic duty. Like it is our responsibility to do this for other people. So, how do we stay connected? There's lots of ways. Um, you're not ideal, so let's do this. This is not like the best of the best. This is the worst of a good lot. So, I can tell you, I've seen a lot of support groups, like Zoom support groups, to help people connect during this difficult time. I briefly thought about doing one, and I think I actually held one, but it was early days and nobody showed, which was great because I also discovered that I want my own time to myself and I don't want to be hosting a support group at 8 o'clock at night. I need to turn off by that point. So, Zoom support groups, if you're part of a church, most of them are online, so go to those. If you're in recovery, there's tons of meetings online for recovery through Zoom. If you need a hookup with those, just let me know and I will happily tell you. I can tell you that there's a relief in connecting with these people, even if it's virtually, at least for me. I know my Zen Center is doing Zoom every Sunday online. I used to love my Sundays because my Sundays were my social, spiritual, community connection days. And that was like my biggest loss was not having that. So doing these things through Zoom isn't as good, but it's better than nothing. You can also, take a walk down your street. And if you live on campus, if you're a student and campus is empty, go walk down the street somewhere else, right? Because I can tell you in my town, I think it was yesterday, I don't have a lot of clients. So I got home early, I did some other stuff, and honestly, I was bored and I didn't feel like staying in the house. So I was like, fuck it, I'll go for a walk. It was just something to do. But when I'm walking down the street, there are tons of people, and some are going to be self-involved and they're not going to see you, whatevs. But one of the beautiful things about our life right now is how many people I see consciously making those connections. So even family units, when it's just the family, they're still craving to see other human beings also. So I walk down the street, and every once in a while, somewhat common, I would see somebody make that connection with me, and they would wave, and I would wave, and there was this like shared humanity in our experience that feels good. Um, I think it might be a little controversial. I still go to Meadowbrook for walks every day or most days after work, and I meet a friend there, and we keep physical distance, but we walk and we talk, and it is such a relief to see a friend that I care about and that I get to spend time with where we wouldn't normally. So that is another way to connect. If you are living alone, then pick up those people that you want to connect with. I think I am developing like a rotation of people that I text or I call or whatever that I talk to every day. Not this because I don't want to wear anybody out. So it's not the same person every day, but I kind of have people that I want to just touch base with and see how they're doing. So I do that every day. I'm fortunate because I'm a therapist. I'm still, again, it's video. It's not nearly as good, but it's enough. It's good enough. So I see clients every day through video, and that's still some kind of a connection. I will say, if you don't live alone, if you're with your family and you got your kids, your partner, whoever else with you, or even fucking roommates, like whoever, if you are not living alone and you know somebody that is living alone, please call them, please check on them, please be with them. Um, I'll be honest, I'm really surprised that I haven't been experiencing that, and I'm a little sad. So this is me being super honest and super vulnerable. I've got a couple people that stay connected with me, and I think maybe it's because I tend to be the therapist caretaker in relationships. So I find myself checking on a lot of people, and very few. I can think of one, two, maybe. I guess there are people that check on me, but it's mostly me reaching out, and that's fine. So if you live alone, nobody is checking on you. I'm sorry, I know what that's like. However, that's not a reason to isolate. You have to do the reaching out. Um, if you want, start a meetup group and do something online with them. So that's another option. I will tell you, I have room for one more. I can do three. I pay for meetup groups. I can do three on my current plan. So I have room for one more. So if you want something online that's a meetup group, you have an idea and you want me to kick it off for you, I would be happy to do that if it's something I want to do too. Because I'm thinking about doing something, because all the meetup groups in our community are dead right now. And I get that, but meetup is very much flexing with the times and allowing us to post stuff online. So that's another option. So as much as you can, I want to urge you to remember that even introverts, even people that love being alone, we're still social animals. We are hardwired to be around people. We need that, like in a very literal, very physical sense. And even though we can't do that face to face right now, we can still have those connections, whether it be through video or it be going for a walk and seeing human beings and just waving and acknowledging each other. Also, if you like animals and if you live alone and you don't have an animal, I would encourage it. I'm going to be very clear here. That's not to say just go buy a fucking dog for this pandemic and then dump it. Like, you have to truly have that heart. But for me, living alone, one of the things that makes it so easy most of the time is having my two dogs and a cat and that structure. Like, I am so, it's so annoying and so lucky at the same time. I don't get to sleep until noon. Like, it doesn't, even if I did get depressed, which I'm not, but even if I did start falling into a depression, my dogs would keep me on check. They're like, you will get up at this time. Or my cat will come up and like stick her claws. She won't scratch me, but she'll just rest her claws on me. Like, hello, wake up now, bitch. I'm like, all right, I'm up. And then if it's too late, they get mad and they either pester me to go to bed or they just go to bed, which is a nice signal for me to go to bed. So if you are an animal lover, and if you are willing to make a lifetime commitment to an animal, then please, 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 if you don't have one already, go get one. And if you don't want to make a lifetime commitment, just go foster for a minute. I swear to God, if I didn't think my dogs would go nuts if I brought another dog into the house, I would be fostering right now. It's a nice way to have that companionship. It's a nice way to do a good thing, and it is less of a commitment. Okay, so that's isolation. If anybody has questions or comments, I can't guarantee that I will know if you're posting them. I'm going to check. So, like, don't judge me or judge me. I don't really care. I'm going to check on my phone really fast because I have no way to see what's going on. Okay, so it doesn't look like there's questions. If there are, I can't tell. So, I forgot to do 478 breathing. I apologize. If you guys want to roll into that, I'm going to let you. But I think the other thing I wanted to do today, because, right, I'm very goal oriented. I'm very task oriented. I just am. It's why I love EMDR so much, because EMDR is, you have a goal. List out these traumatic memories, clear them one at a time, feel better. So it's a very process oriented. I enjoy that. So today I thought it would be nice to read one of my favorite guided meditations. It's short, so it's like a page and a half. It's from this book. I will say that it says in the book that we are free to share this as long as we're not collecting money for it, and I'm not making a penny off of these videos, so I can read this. This is One of my favorite ones to do with clients, college students that are clients, midterms, final, right? Those really high stress times, especially when they're, anyway, the really high stress times. So this is a favorite one for them. It's a favorite one of mine. And it was the first one I came across that I thought would be great. There's a bunch of these. So if you guys like this, I will keep reading these. So let's start with this. Get comfortable, get relaxed, lean back, lie down, kick your feet up, do whatever that means for you. Eyes open or closed, whatever you're more comfortable with. Glasses on or off. I have this weird reading thing, right? So bifocals, they have to be on for me. Otherwise, if I was just listening, my glasses would come off and I would kick all the way back. Okay, so this is called, I don't want to lose my sticky though. Say goodbye to worry. Hot air balloon. I felt like in this time of uncertainty, this was fitting. And plus, I work with anxiety, so I use this one a lot. So make yourself comfortable. Close your eyes if you want to. Keep them open if you prefer. Take a slow, deep breath and let go of any tension as you feel yourself sinking into the surface you're resting on, becoming still more comfortable and relaxed. Take another slow, deep breath and release your thoughts, letting them drift far away. And take another slow, deep breath and know that in this moment, all is well. Imagine you're walking in a wide open grassy field in the country, just before dawn on a crisp fall morning. It's quiet. There's some early morning fog rising from the ground. And as you walk along, you can feel the uneven ground beneath your feet. You're carrying a heavy backpack, and it's filled with all the worries that have been weighing on you lately. You could enjoy the morning so much more if you were to put them down, but you just haven't felt ready to do that yet. So you continue walking on through the field. Soon, you begin to make out some kind of large, round shape coming up out of the fog a little way ahead. And as you come closer, you see that it's a hot air balloon just finishing filling up. The basket is tied down with 4 ropes staked into the ground on all sides. There's a burner above the basket heating the balloon. And the balloon itself is made of colorful sections of material arranged in strips running top to bottom. It's quite a sight to behold. There's a brass plaque on the side of the basket. And as you take a closer look, you see that it has your name written upon it in ornate scrolled letters. And printed below your name are the words, "Let the healing begin." That sounds promising. Now you know where you can put your backpack full of worries. Better take a look at them just to make sure. Pull your heavy backpack off your shoulders, one strap at a time. Put it down. Take each worry out of the backpack one at a time. What do worries look like? They could look like anything. Some people's look like globs of gray goop. Some look like spiky metal balls. Maybe they look like rocks. Some people's look like old musty encyclopedia volumes. Take each worry out of your backpack. Take a look at it to be sure you know what it is. Become certain you'd like to let it go. Toss it into the basket. Take a few moments to do this for each and every worry. Once you've gotten all the worries out of the backpack and tossed them into the basket below the balloon, go ahead and toss the backpack in too. You won't be needing that now. The basket is filled up, and now the balloon is completely inflated and ready to go. It's pulling hard against the ropes and looks eager to take off. Look down to your right, and you'll see a big knife in a leather sheath. Pick it up, pull off the sheath. The blade is gleaming stainless steel and very, very sharp. It's going to feel really good to cut those 4 ropes with this knife. Go to the first rope, cut it with the knife. It cuts like butter, and the balloon shakes a little, leaning a bit to one side. This is good. Go to the opposite side of the balloon and cut the rope there. Easy peasy. The balloon wobbles a bit. Cut the third rope, and the balloon leans towards the side of the last one, straining hard and ready to take off. You're ready to say goodbye to. You're ready to say goodbye to your worries and the balloon. Cut that last rope, and the balloon begins to rise. As the balloon ascends, you begin to feel freer. And as it rises further, ties you may still have had to any worries become thinner. The balloon goes higher and higher, gets smaller and smaller, till you can barely see it. And now, it's gone. Nothing in the sky but a few puffy white clouds and a flock of geese, way up there, flying in a V formation, migrating toward their winter home. You're free. Imagine everything ahead of you in your life working out perfectly. Visualize all your affairs going easily the way you'd like them to go. Be happy. Look forward to your life. Put your mind in good order and take a few moments to do this now. It's a little later in the morning now, and you walk on through the field to the other side. And as you come to the edge of the field, you notice the scene has changed to a setting somewhere in your everyday life, one that is very positive and enjoyable for you. Put yourself as fully as positive as possible into this positive, happy scene and take a few moments to enjoy it. It's almost time to bring this inner journey to a close. But first, take a moment to thank yourself for giving yourself this gift. Gradually, bring your awareness back to your physical surroundings. Take your time, and when you're ready, open your eyes and feel awake, alert, and refreshed. Okay, so I'm so curious. Like, if somebody wants to shoot me a line or message me or make a comment and let me know what you thought of that, I would love to hear it. I can tell you, I've read that, God, countless times at this point. I can't even tell you how often. And maybe because I've read it so much, I get relaxed just reading it out loud, which is kind of crazy. I will say that by the end of this week, this will be downloaded, uploaded, I think, to YouTube. I have Melanie Civilly Counseling YouTube channel. I don't know. It seemed like the thing to do. And from there, I will link it to my website. So Melanie Civilly, mcivillytherapy.com, right? So you can contact me through that. The very last page is a blog, and I've uploaded all these videos to the blog. I feel like Facebook is not just clunky to find Facebook Lives, but getting clunkier by the minute. My Facebook page seems to get more distracting and more irrelevant crap trying to sell me something every single day. So I put it on my website to be easy to find. A couple closing notes. So in case I haven't said this before, or in case you missed it, obviously I'm not doing Facebook Lives daily. I did them when everything first hit the fan because I needed to. Like, I needed to do something positive, and that was my thing, positive. A side note, for people that are isolated, another way to feel connected is to go find a way to volunteer while staying sheltering in place. If you have a sewing machine and you can sew, masks would be great. I feel like that's easier. I don't have a sewing machine. I couldn't do it. Um, you can make jewelry to send to the nurses and the receptionist and the admin, all those wonderful women that are working out there. You could find other things that you could, if you're crafty in any way, shape, or form, make other things for people. You could, you know what, honestly, I mean, I'm so grateful that I'm working and that I don't really have the time, but I want to put hearts on my fence, right, in my yard for the kids to see. I know there's people making hearts and giving them out. So if you wanted to make some hearts, cut them out and mail them to other people that want to put them up, I would be one. There's lots of ways to be connected, and volunteering is one of the best ways I know to be connected. So that being said, sorry I got sidetracked. Once a week, Tuesdays at 12:15, I will be doing a live. And this is, I don't want to say forever, but this will go past the pandemic time. Like, I think this is useful. I enjoy doing it. I hope you guys are getting stuff out of it. I hope you're sharing it with the people that can find it useful. So this will be every single week. At some point, I might switch it to YouTube if this continues to be craptastic on Facebook Live. We'll see what happens. So I hope you guys show up. I hope that you share this, and I hope that you find it useful. As always, I can't say this enough. If you have something you want me to speak to, if you have a comment, if you have a topic, if you have something you're struggling with that you want me to address, please let me know. I think the first few Facebook Lives were easy. I ran through all my standard material. There's lots more to do, but I could use inspiration, and it would be great if it came from you. The other thing is, because I am very goal oriented and I don't have a lot of clients right now. So it's like, what's my next project? And my next project is more than likely going to be a podcast that I wanted to start for a year, probably, maybe more than a year. I have an original plan for what I wanted to be. And at some point I want to flip it over. But for right now, one of the things I'm hearing is people are fucking sick to death of the virus being the only thing in their lives. And I respect that. I'm sick of it too. So I want to start a podcast that has nothing to do with, I don't want to say nothing to do with mental health because I think it'll be good for your mental health, but nothing to do with coping skills or like how to be healthy during a pandemic. Like, right, enough. Like, we are so overwhelmed with that. I have so many flipping Facebook groups about this, not the local ones. I love you, local ones, but the bigger ones, the therapy ones. I want something totally different. So I want something positive and happy and entertaining, and not virus related. That's like, you guys, I'm stuck. Other than knowing that, that's all I've got. You have ideas for what that should be, please hit me up because I am dying to get this podcast started. And finally, I will say again, as I do pretty much every session, and I will until we stop sheltering in place, I think everybody can use some support. Everybody, I'm biased, but right now I feel like everybody could use, or almost everybody could use a therapist in their lives right now. As far as I know, everybody I know has switched to telehealth. I will speak only to my own telehealth, right? I use a secure, HIPAA compliant format that is designed specifically for therapists and was designed way before this. So this wasn't bootstrapped. This has been in place with Simple Practice for several years. It is safe, it is secure, and it is super simple to use. Literally, I send you a link the day of the appointment. You either download an app and we do telehealth from your phone, and I'll be on this laptop, or you follow the link on your laptop. You don't have to install anything fancy, whatever. Super easy to do telehealth. I have started doing EMDR telehealth, which is what a gift and what a thing to navigate. And I'm absolutely accepting new clients. Okay, be safe, be healthy, be happy. Peace. I will see you. I don't even know where to end this. I will see you next Tuesday.